love that all of our points have really been about kind of looking into the self, even though it's Libra season and people may not think, oh, let's look into the self and be about the self.
Yeah.
Actually, Libra, when again, they're doing their best, they are doing that very regularly. They're checking in with themselves because they know the relationship is only as healthy as the relationship I have with myself.
Yeah,
you know?
Because the balance comes from within for Libra, but Libra at its lower vibration is searching for that balance through external factors and relationships. And at the end of the day, we can't control other people or external situations. So every time something falls through in that sense, we feel disbalanced, we're giving our power away very easily. So you really need to figure out how you can find that balance within yourself, because the only thing you have control over is you.
What's good, y'all? Welcome to our channel. I'm Maya.
And Sarah.
And we are charmed and dangerous.
Because, you know, we're charming.
And we be dangerous.
We be dangerous.
I feel like Libra is the perfect little mix of charming and dangerous.
Yeah.
Okay. And in this video, if y'all don't already know, we're telling you how to live your best life. So let's just get into it.
Let's do it.
Okay, Sarah, so what's your first tip for the people?
Yes, okay, so my first tip for y'all this Libra season is to take stock of the relationships in your life. You know, it's their equal give and take. Now is really the time to think about which relationships are like fulfilling you and which ones are draining you.
Yes.
You know, balance is the name of the game this Libra season, and Libra energy rules over balance and relationships, you know? So you have to find that balance in your relationships, and if there hasn't been balance in a while, then you know Scorpio season's coming up and it's time to start dropping people and saying bye. But like Libra season is that time to really think about how you feel about the people in your life, your relationships, if they're helping you grow or if they're kind of pulling you down. You know what I mean? Like draining you. And Libra is known to be like a people pleaser because they want to keep these relationships, but at the end of the day, like if you're a Libra too, if you keep people just to keep them and you're like, why am I so disbalanced all the time? Well, it's these relationships. You know what I mean? Like you have to be willing to be courageous to end relationships that are not fulfilling you, and be okay with being alone a little bit more, so then you feel more balanced. You know, all your relationships don't mean shit if they're always causing you to be disbalanced. And I feel like for Libras, it very much can be that way. Because they have so many connections and they're just not willing to let go of any of them. So this Libra season, try and really think about the relationships you have and how they make you feel. And because
it should be a two-way street in a relationship. And I feel like Libras are very giving signs and people will take advantage of that. So make sure that, you know, people aren't taking advantage of you in this time. It's especially easy to happen, I feel like, in Libra season, because I feel like we all can naturally just become a little bit more of people pleasers or yes people because we just want to like have fun. So I get it, and I feel like it leads me perfectly into my first point, which is to unblock your throat chakra. You know, I feel like that's a good first step into then thinking too about how I want to communicate in those relationships that they're not helping me, right? Or like I want them to change. Unblocking your throat chakra will allow you to do your best at speaking during Libra season. And listen, Libras really are the best mediators and peacemakers, but when they aren't vibrating at their highest power, they can be people pleasers and yes men, you know? So I feel like all Libras, all people with Libra placements, and anyone out here experiencing Libra season should focus on unblocking your throat chakra so you can communicate better in relationships. And I feel like it's better to do this now before Scorpio season comes up, because otherwise it'll just be explosive, you know? So might as well get in the practice of being able to mediate and saying it comfortably, you know?
I agree.
I especially also want people to be unblocking their throat chakra because elections are coming up and I feel like I need a lot of people to be speaking up on these injustices in true Libra fashion, you know? When Libras are functioning and vibrating at their highest vibration, they are always speaking out on injustices, you know? And I want everyone to feel comfortable doing that this Libra season.
Yeah, especially if it's something that you actually feel passionate about. You know what I mean? Like, really say how you feel. And the people that really are meant to be in your life will either try to understand where you're coming from or agree with you. And anyone else, I don't know why you're around them. Because you're talking about things that you feel passionately about and that you feel like are, let's say, human rights. And if people are really trying to judge you or tell you not to make it too deep, these are people that you should probably stay away from, even if you're just around them for social settings.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like sometimes Libra 100%. Energy wants to be socializing so much that they'll hang out with anyone. I would say all the air signs be sometimes doing that, and sometimes you just need to be more picky.
Yeah.
So maybe this Libra season, socialize, but be picky with who you're socializing with.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like center yourself in your own voice and then think of how you want to relate in relationships. You know what I mean? That's why I liked our 2 points going together, because in your relationship, you have to have a strong voice for it to really be a two-way street, you know? And that's when Libra, again, is functioning at their highest vibration.
Yeah.
But it's two ways, baby. Gotta be fair.
Yeah, everyone has to feel pleased and balanced in this, you know, communication. Okay, so my second tip for you guys this Libra season, I want you guys to beautify your space. You know, Libra placements have an eye for everything beauty, but more specifically, I would say sometimes interior design. They say that our environment's condition heavily affects our mental state. And we all know how much, you know, Libra lives by the quote, look good, feel good. The same goes for your space, you know, make it look good so you feel good. So, you know, you can spend time there and be more clear-headed. And sometimes I feel like during our most social seasons is when we kind of stop taking care of our space because we're out a lot. But then it's like if you're out and you're partying or whatever, I don't know what people do besides party. You know what I mean? If you're out and you're doing shit all the time, you're not spending a lot of time at home, so you're kind of neglecting your room or your home. You come back and you're trying to decompress from all your socializing, but your space is a mess, so you can't really decompress from socializing. You kind of can't wait to get the fuck out of there. Like, it's really messy, you know.
Chaotic
what I mean?
in here.
So again, like anything to make you feel more balanced, and that means you're gonna have to do the extra work. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you had a long day, you're tired. Clean up your space a little bit, organize it a little bit, so the next day when you wake up in it, you feel good about it. And I feel like Libras do typically prioritize their space looking and feeling good. And maybe this Libra season, when you're socializing, you'll remember to do that too. So you come back and you feel actually at home.
Right. You feel like together.
Yeah.
You feel a little bit more on top of your life.
Yeah.
You know? It's not as stressful. You really get to decompress, like you said. My next point is dress to impress this Libra season, okay? I feel like we've talked about this before. Libras are the most fashionable zodiac sign. Okay, I will die on this hill. I'll believe it. I really think that they are the most fashionable. So I want everyone to maybe upgrade their wardrobe this season. Of course, only if you have the funds. I know like the economy is a little stressful right now and everything's a little bit more expensive. So if you are balling on a budget, you know, definitely just go into your own closet because you probably have some cute things already in there. Just like restyle it. And yeah, don't be afraid to get dressed up during this Libra season. I feel like I work from home every day, so I'm challenging myself at least once, hopefully twice, every week. I'm gonna be dressing up, okay? Because it feels good, like you said. When you dress up, like you feel good. Libra knows that best. So dress up for yourself. It's not about anyone else, but you really do feel good when you dress to the nines. You know?
You do, I mean, especially even if you don't know that you're going anywhere, kind of like Maya's saying, like knowing that you did that for yourself, it really gives you an energy boost and a confidence boost because you're like, I did that for me. You know what I mean? Because I want to feel good, and Libra understands that.
Yes.
You really always have to do it for yourself.
Yes.
And this kind of ties into my last point, which is romanticize your life. This is different than being like romantic with your partner. This is more so, you know, for personal growth. It's really easy to be like, you're romantic with your partner. That's not what I'm talking about. You can do that any day of the week. I need you to actually be romanticizing your own life. And you know, Libra energy can sometimes be very codependent. You know what I mean? They almost feel like they have to have someone else in order to have fun, in order to go out or do something new. You know, and I feel like at the end of the day, if you're putting all that pressure onto other people, like, so what, you can't provide that for yourself? Like, you need someone else to ever have fun?
Yes.
Like, fuck that. You can create fun all by yourself. And this Libra season, I really just want you guys to bask in that romantic energy by doing something sensual for yourself without anybody else there, without picture evidence, you know, knowing that you did that just for you. Really ask yourself what it is that you want to do. And don't ask anyone if, you know, they want to join you. Just take yourself out on a date, whatever the fuck it may be. Even if you're at home, giving yourself a tarot reading, light up some candles, like some shit like that, you know? And this can even tie into my first tip of really taking stock of all your relationships. Maybe you can bring a little notebook, you know, journal about your relationships, your life, and like really ask yourself, like, who deserves this beautiful energy? Because when you spend time with yourself, you really get to see what energy you're working with, you know? When we're around people, naturally our energies mix with theirs, and it's hard to figure out where our energy is. And when you spend time by yourself, you really can decipher, like, oh shit, like, that's my energy. That's really beautiful energy, you know? And you become more picky with who you share your energy with because you know what you bring to the table.
I love that all of our points have really been about kind of looking into the self, even though it's Libra season and people may not think, oh, let's look into the self and be about the self.
Yeah.
Actually, Libra, when again, they're doing their best, they are doing that very regularly. They're checking in with themselves because they know the relationship is only as healthy as the relationship I have with myself.
Yeah,
you know?
Because the balance comes from within for Libra, but Libra at its lower vibration is searching for that balance through external factors and relationships. And at the end of the day, we can't control other people or external situations. So every time something falls through in that sense, we feel disbalanced, we're giving our power away very easily. So you really need to figure out how you can find that balance within yourself, because the only thing you have control over is you.
And honestly, my last point was basically your last point, I swear to God.
That's so funny.
Which is to just let the romance begin. And each week, there's 4 weeks in Libra season to do something special just for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Get yourself some flowers. If you decide that you want to have a bestie date, you know what I mean? Do that with your best friend. Romanticize the relationships that you have in your life and feed into them, because they feed back into you equally, you know? And I feel like that's something that I want everyone to remember. Like, yes, Libra season is all about love and partnerships. And that means, yeah, like I said, you have to feed and nurture relationships if you want them to feed and nurture back into you. So let that relationship be with yourself, you know? Or friends who you choose are worthy, you know what I mean? Do the first 2 steps, 3 steps that we said, then come back to this one. Alright, y'all, thank you for kicking it with your girls while we give y'all tips for this Libra season. I really feel amazing energy for this Libra season. Really, it's my favorite time of the year, so I know for a fact that you're gonna have a good time. Okay? Yes, and happy birthday to all of our Libras out there. We love you so much. We hope you have the greatest season ever. Okay. We're gonna post our socials somewhere over here. Give your girls a follow. Don't forget, we post every Monday and Thursday, and our podcast goes live every Friday, unless we're taking a mental health break, which we update you on in our socials, which you should follow, as I said. Do that right now. We love you. Bye.